Today's hair is brought to you by Rachel, the traveling hairdresser. If you're in the Perth and Kinross area and need your hair cut, choose Rachel. Told you I'd give you a plug. Hello Tube Dwellers and welcome. I'm the Arcadean and this is Mabinogi Duel. New week, new video, and after last week's challenge video where you guys voted on cards to put into a deck that I would then have to run, and if you haven't seen the video already, check it out. Last week's, it's something. Well, after that, I decided that I wanted to run something just completely overpowered this week, hence Beastkin Jane. I've always enjoyed the Beastkins, and Jane is undeniably one of the most powerful cards that you can run in the Beastkin line. So, let's take a look at the deck. First of all, we're starting out with a Potion of Mana. This is to help us ramp up towards Nereva. Nereva is extremely valuable and extremely useful in this deck. You don't want Beastkin Jane transforming back if you can possibly avoid it. And her initial immediate transformation charges up Nereva extremely effectively. Next, we have Free Summon. Again, helps to charge up Nereva and also helps to shut down any nasty little cards that may be coming out, such as Jur. Magic Missile, standard 1 cost removal card. Book of Knowledge to help us ramp up into level 2 and level 3 much faster. Holy Missile, once again, 1 cost removal spell, always have those in your decks. Goblin Bomb Squad as a defensive measure, in case the opponent places down something that we don't have any immediate answer for, we can just block him with the Bomb Squad. Turn to Frog, again another transformation spell that not only charges up Nereva, but can be extremely valuable in getting rid of any big like Doom Machines, Jurgens, that kind of thing. Surprise Attack, low cost removal spell. Forest Fire, which we're using quite deliberately, as opposed to something like Flame Emission. Forest Fire can output more damage on a sort of a battlefield-wide level than Flame Emission, whose damage decreases the further across it goes. And our big creature cards, Nereva, Skathach, and Jane, they either have extremely high hit point values, or in the case of something like Jane and Skathach, in their transformed forms, they cannot be killed. So Forest Fire, it doesn't really matter if that hits them or not. Then we have Persona Skathach, one of the still most powerful cards in the game, fantastic for disruption and board control. Jane, gold +1. You don't need to run the +1 variant. I only have the gold +1 variant. You can use the normal gold if you have it. But the gold variant is best in this deck. And then finally Nereva. A Nereva +1 would probably be a better idea because it means that you can bring her out at level 2 along with Skathach or Jane and immediately get 4 energy for her. But standard Nereva works out just as well, especially since we're charging up with the mana potion at the very beginning of the game, so we can always bring her out quite quickly. So that's the deck. Very, very top-heavy in terms of creatures, but extremely powerful when it gets underway. It's very, very difficult to stop this deck once it's got its steam up. So, that being said, let's jump into a fight and see how it runs. Okay, fight number 1 against a Japanese player, second Dan. So they've been playing around in the Master Arena, which is great. Okay, they're running. Okay, so we'll play the Potion Mana. We need to push quickly. They're obviously going to be running a Jur deck. So Book of Knowledge. Yeah, there we go. Okay, all right. So it's a race, is it? Okay. Well, we'll throw out our own Book of Knowledge. And she'll level up. Of course she does. We'll level up as well. Now this unfortunately means that she can play Jur and the Mirror of Truth. So there's Jur. Yeah. Summons a box. Mirror of Truth. No Mirror of Truth. Okay. All right. Not sure why, but we'll place Nereva just to prevent any shenanigans as far as that goes. And yeah, I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting that, so just charge up and see what they do. This is actually quite interesting. I've never seen anybody not immediately go for the Mirror of Truth. Angel Nedova, hoping that I'll kill Jur so that yeah, I'm not actually 100% certain what the plan there is, bringing out Nereva. So, we'll charge up. It's not really the color I wanted. We already have Nereva out in the field. That's better. Okay. We don't mind the 10 damage coming out, because Nereva is still out on the field. She doesn't have enough mana now for a Mirror of Truth. Well, she doesn't have enough light for a Mirror of Truth. So, okay. All right. Well, we can bring out Jane if we toss the bomb squad into the grave. Put Jane out onto the field. Okay, she transforms. Nereva gets the extra energy. Okay, now if the box transforms as well, if she uses... she's just charging again. Very interesting. If she uses a Mirror of Truth to transform the box, then, first of all, Nereva would block that. But second of all, after it's gone through, if she somehow managed to get it through, we would just gain more energy off that. So it's not too bad. We'll kill the Nereva, because I'm really not sure what it's doing there. And I wanted Nereva dead before the Jur was, so that she didn't just bring him back out onto the field. Okay. Revives, brings Jur back out onto the field again. Summons another box, but the Mirror of Truth only affects one box at a time. So Mirror of Truth comes out, but Nereva just blocks that. Interesting. I'm very confused. We'll turn Jur into a frog so that Nereva can just kill him and get the energy transformation, so we're in a really good position. Now, we'll drop the freeze just in case she's got some sort of weird little plan going on with these boxes. Okay, so Jur is dead again. Jane keeps dealing damage, which is nice. She's got 5 of each resource, so she could do something. But she doesn't. She charges up again, which means that we just charge up and win. Okay. An interesting Jur play from a PvP Dan level 2. I'm not really sure what the idea was, but I have to assume that they had some sort of plan in mind that we just didn't see because we finished the match too quickly. So, very interesting. Very interesting. Let's see if the second one is just as fascinating. And it is already quite fascinating. Checkman, PvP first Dan, using a hero I just don't see these days. Alright, so he's got... we'll just have to play the mana again. He's got mana, nature, and dark, which is an interesting combination. So the elf comes out. Unfortunately, since we're not running dark, we can't just heavy offering that. But we also can't let it go unchallenged because we need to survive into the late game. So we're going to drop off a bomb squad, which he turns to frog. Okay. I mean, I guess he just really wants that elf damage to go through. It's unfortunate, but we're just going to have to let that go. We've got no other sort of resource-efficient ways of dealing with it, unfortunately. So we'll charge up and just have to let the damage go through. Okay. Yep, levels up. Good, good, good. All right, we'll do the same. Boop. And we get a lot of mana. That's quite nice. I didn't really need it, but... Oh, Phantom of the Wolf deck. Okay. Okay, so basically a lot of low-level creatures, and he's going to use Phantom of the Wolf to chip away at them. All right. Well, I was hoping that we could save up for Jane. Unfortunately, we can't, and we have to discard her because we need to deal with this immediately. We can't let that kind of damage go out. So off goes the Forest Fire, which shuts that entire line down and prevents him from doing anything really for the next turn because there's no real way he can bring out offensive pressure with that level of resources if what he's trying to do is a field flood. Magician Masked Field. Okay. Yeah, that's always good next to Phantom of the Wolf. All right, well, we're not doing too badly for light resources, so we can kill the Magician with the Holy Missile, and we have to kill him first, otherwise his assistant will just revive if we kill her. So we charge up, we get ready for level 3, 6 damage is going to come out, which is unpleasant, but we can take it. Level up ourselves. Now, we could play Nerva now, but it's not a good idea. You should always try and play her next to Jane or Scathach. So we'll kill the assistant off with the magic missile instead, because we have more than enough mana at the moment. Out comes the elf. Okay, so he's preparing for another Phantom of the Wolf run. Yep, here comes the skeleton. And he doesn't quite have enough mana for the Phantom of the Wolf, but we can expect that next turn. That's okay, though. We block in the middle because we're not going to be able to bring Jane out anyway. We block on the left with Scathach, and we drop the bomb squad into the grave because we're trying to ramp up in anticipation of this wolf coming out, which should be now. Let's see. Okay, yep, he's discarded for mana. Here comes the Phantom of the Wolf. Excellent, that's what we were expecting. Good. Okay, he can't cast any spells because Nerva will just block that, so he's discarding again. It was green, so it could be Cocoon Trap or something, but it doesn't matter because we're not going to be bringing any more creatures out onto the field anyway. Now that he's recommitted to the board, all we need to do is revive out of our grave to prep the forest fire. There it is. Throw it out onto the field. Kill off all of his troops. Our guys will survive because Nerva's got a lot of hit points and Scathach just can't die by damage while she's in her transformed state. And we'll drop a free summon into the grave just in case he decides to charge up towards Masked Field and bring him out again. Which he's thinking about. And then he forfeits. A very interesting deck with a very interesting hero. Unfortunately, against Forest Fire, they get shut down. And that was the Jane deck. A very powerful deck once it gets underway, as you can see. If you'd like to try it out for yourself, there's a share code up in the top right hand corner. If you have the cards, and I'm aware they're pretty expensive, but if you have them, give it a run, mess around with the deck, see what adjustments you can make to it. It's open to a lot of permutations, this one. As long as you have the core, Scathach, Jane, and Nerva, you can't really go wrong. So that's it from me. Thank you for watching, and a special thank you to everybody who subscribed so far. Until next time, have fun and good luck.